Hello students. Now today we are going to study about the biology from standard 11. So that is the 16th chapter, skeleton and movements. See that as per these pictures only you will understand that which topic we are going to study in detail. Okay, so that is skeleton and movements. Now let's study in detail. So the first thing is what? So here we are going to study about the location and structure of skeleton muscles. See that major part of the muscles which moves a bone usually do not lie on the same bone, but it is located on the bone at top. You can observe that diagram, you can observe that image, that moving image is there. You can see that whatever the part is moving, so on that part the muscles are not located. So here the thing is what? So in this the muscles are located in this part. So here these are known as the bicep and the second one which is known as the tricep. That are the examples. Bicep and tricep that move forearm located in the upper arm. So at any joint, you can observe here at any joint two types of bones are present. One is known as the stationary bone and the second one which is known as the movable bone. Now you can see that this is the stationary bone. Stationary bone means what? That is the stable bone. Okay, and the next one, that is the movable bone. You can see that this is the movable bone. This is the movable bone. Okay, so like these are the information related to the muscles as well as the bones. Now next thing, see here in this diagram in detail I have shown you about the bicep and tricep. So when the bicep contract, it bends the curls the arm, and here whenever the tricep contract, it strengthens the arm. So like these are the things about the bicep as well as the tricep. Okay, now we are going to study about the exact structure of the muscles. Okay, now let's study in detail. See here in this diagram I have shown you in detail. So the end of the muscle which is attached to the stationary bone, it is called as the origin, while the opposite end which is attached to the movable bone, it is called as the insertion. And the middle part is there, that middle thick bulging part is there, so that is that part of the muscle which is known as the belly. So like this is the structure of muscle. One is origin, insertion and belly. So all the fibers in the muscle do not extend from end to end. There is a maximum number in the middle. Thus, the large muscles most often fusiform in shape, like this is. Means they are tapering at both the end and they are bulging at the center. So this is about the structure of the muscles. Okay. Now the next thing that we are going to study here. See, in detail I have shown you. So here these muscles are there. These muscles are attached to the stationary bone. Okay, so that is known as the origin, and the muscles which are attached to this movable bone, so that is known as the insertion. Okay, now how we are going to study about working of skeletal muscles. Now how these muscles are working exactly? See that generally muscles work in pairs and produce opposite action, that is biceps and tricep. Now you can say that these are the bicep, these are the triceps. These biceps are also known as the flexor, means which bring flexion, that means folding, and tricep that are known as the extensor, means which brings extension of the elbow. Okay, so like this is about the bicep as well as the tricep which are present at the elbow joint. Now here the muscles which brings opposite action. Okay, so that are known as the antagonistic muscles. Okay, you can see here in the diagram, when one muscle contract, the other muscle relax, and when the other muscle contract, the first muscle relax. That means when the biceps contract, tricep relax, and the tricep contracts, bicep relax. That's why they are known as the antagonistic muscles. Okay, so here if one member of pair is capable of bending the joint by pulling of bones, the other member is capable of strengthening the same joint, also called as the pulling. So that is the example, that is tricep and bicep of the upper arm. These are the antagonistic to each other. So in this antagonistic pair of muscles, one member is much stronger than the other. For example, in between the tricep and the bicep. So biceps are always stronger than the triceps. Then the fundamental characteristics of muscle is what? That is contraction. Okay, therefore muscles can only pull and not push the bone. So here we have seen one of the example, that is the tricep and the bicep. Okay, so like that only some other important antagonistic muscles are there. Now let's study about that. In this, the first one, that is known as the flexor and extensor. Now flexor muscles, that is on contraction, result in bending or flexion of a joint, that is bicep. Okay, see that is responsible for the bending, and then extensor on contraction result in strengthening or the extension of a joint, that is tricep. Okay, so in the examination they can ask you question ki write down the example of antagonistic muscle. So you can also write it down flexor and the extensor. Flexor, that is important for the contraction, that means it is very important for bending or the flexion of joint. And extensor, that is very important for the strengthening or the extension of a joint, that is tricep. Okay, now let's study the next example, that is known as the abductor and adductor. So see this, abductor muscles which move body away from the body axis. Okay, and the example is what? Deltoid muscle of shoulder which moves the arm away from the body. See that in this diagram here I have shown you these deltoid muscles. These deltoid muscles are very important to move body part away from the body axis. Then adductor muscle. Adductor muscle that moves body part towards the body axis. Okay, for example, that is the latissimus dorsi. So where it is present, this latissimus dorsi of the shoulder which moves the arm near to the body part. Okay, now see this. Here in this picture, in this movable picture, I have shown you the function of deltoid muscle as well as the latissimus dorsi. Deltoid muscles are moving the arm away from the body, and the latissimus muscle of shoulder which moves the arm near to the body. So this is about the abductor and adductor muscle. Now next thing, pronator and supinator. Pronator and supinator which are present in the elbow joint. You can see that there is radius and ulna is present. Wherever the radius and ulna is present, at that region there is a supinator and pronator is present. The supinator and pronator. So from that, pronator turns the palm downward, supinator to turn the palm upward. I will show you in this image. You can see there is the supination and the pronation. Okay, so here here I have shown you, that is the supination and the pronation. So pronator that turns the palm downward, and the supinator means these muscles are there, these muscles are moving or turn the palm in upward direction. Now I will show you here. See in this image, in the moving image I have shown you. So here just bones I have shown you, but here the muscles which are present in this region, that is the supinator and the pronator, that is important for moving this arm downward as well as in the upward direction. So this is the example of pronator and the supinator. Okay. Now next thing, levator and depressor. Now levator, this levator raises body part means they elevates body part. Okay, and depressor, they lowers the body part. Okay, I'll show you here. See, this levator and the depressor which are present here. Okay, that is very important for the raises body part as well as for the lowers the body part. Okay, so this is the fourth example of antagonistic muscles. ओके यानी एक दूसरे से अपोजिट एक्शन करते, एक इसने हाँ बोला तो दूसरा ना बोलता है, मीन्स दे आर नॉट एग्जैक्टली सेइंग इट, मीन्स इफ वन मसल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट द अदर मसल रिलैक्सेस. ओके दैट्स व्हाई levator, if one this levator raises the body part, depressor lowers the body part. Then the next example, that is known as the protractor and the retractor. Now this protractor which move forward and retractor which move backward. In this picture you can see here I have taken the reference of one video. You can observe that video. You can see here the movement, okay, which moves forward. That protractor is there, that protractor which is very important to move forward, and retractor move backward. Once again you observe that here it is shown in detail, or in this small diagram also I have shown you in detail. Protractor move forward, retractor move backward. Now the next example, that is known as the sphincters. Okay, so these sphincters, in human nutrition chapter we have already seen this sphincters, but then also now pay attention here, the sphincters, where are these sphincters are present? These circular muscles present in the inner wall of anus. You can see here inner wall of anus and the stomach. Okay, wherever this esophagus opens into the stomach, so at this region here, okay, there is the cardiac sphincter is there, here pyloric sphincter is there. So what is the function of this sphincter? That is for closing as well as for the opening purpose it is important. Or you can say that for this stomach region it prevents the, here once again we will see, here it prevents the backflow of the food material. Okay, whenever that food material enters into the stomach, so this cardiac sphincter closes it. So then that food material cannot move back into the esophagus. But remember this one, whenever there is any problem into the sphincters, then there is a chances of the vomiting. Here the same function of this pyloric sphincter, that food material, it prevents the food material to re-enter into the stomach. Okay, so for that purpose that sphincters are present. Here the same thing, that anus, okay, it is the last part, the opening of these anus. So here it is also guarded by the sphincters. In this you can observe exterior sphincter, interior sphincters are there, that plays an important role for the opening as well as the closing purpose. Okay, now see that, hope so you are aware that both the flexion and extension takes place by the contraction of skeletal muscles. Okay, means here striated muscles are specifically designed to bring about vigorous contraction as well as a relaxation. Okay, so for this purpose, for the contraction and relaxation purpose, there is a contractile unit of muscle is present, that is known as a sarcomere, and in that contractile unit, in that sarcomere, there is the presence of contractile proteins. Okay, and these contractile proteins which are known as the actin and myosin protein, and that plays an important role for the contraction and the relaxation of muscles. Okay, so this actin and myosin filament, the structure of this actin myosin filament, mechanism of muscle contraction and relaxation, physiology of muscle contraction and relaxation, we'll see in the next lecture. Okay, so please like, share and please comment on this video, and please subscribe my channel. My channel name is Prapti Vanzare. Thank you.